अगर म्यूजिशियंस नहीं है तो कोक स्टूडियो कैसे चला? इंडस्ट्री उस वक्त बनती है जब लोग कमाते हैं। इंडस्ट्री ऐसे नहीं बन सकती कि बस अगर आपके पास लाख म्यूजिशियन है वो इंडस्ट्री बन गई। नहीं, आपको पता है सारंगी हमारे रीजन से आया है। पाकिस्तान में टोटल अभी करंटली कितने सारंगी प्लेयर्स होंगे? मैक्सिमम 2 या 3 है। That's sad. So I'm making these songs not for you mainly. I'm making this for Sakhar में taxi driver because we need to talk to him. Venues नहीं है आपके पास, comedy club नहीं है, एक भी नहीं है.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Curtain. Where I reach out to industry professionals, industry individuals, industry creative people, and speak to them about metrics of the media industry. And उसके अंदर जो चीज़ें हम डिस्कस करते हैं कि उनकी जर्नी कैसे है, whether they've had a good sort of know-how, good sort of going around. And on that note, uh, on that note, on on that note, मैं जब रिसर्च कर भी रहा था और काफी लोगों से बात कर रहा था, I thought of this individual, Ali Gul Pir, and I thought, yeah, this person did not take that route which is taken by lots of people. He came out with his sensationalized Vadere ka beta, and no one was expecting it, no one saw it coming. However, it hit the right chords, it gave the right message, and the great part is that when I was researching on him, I went to his wiki page, and it kept saying he's son of landlord. He's son of landlord. He's son of landlord. It kept saying again and again. But no, he's been part of the industry. He's given a lot to the industry on his own. He's very blunt with his socially relevant songs, I believe. He's also emerged from stand-up comedy. He's been to various countries. Um, he's been part of the television industry as well. I've worked with him as well in telefilms. He believes in comedy. He believes in making people laugh in much needed environment where people don't know how to laugh, and I enjoy his work. I thoroughly like his work. He's a music producer. लेकिन मैं ज़्यादा ज़्यादा बातें अब कम करूँगा. मैं अली को चांस दूंगा और फिर हम बिल्ड करेंगे. अली, how are you doing?
I'm good, Rafay. How are you?
यार I'm good. I'm just trying to make the most of COVID-19 in another country.
Good.
कुछ कोशिश करने आए थे लेकिन यहाँ पे भी सब बंद हो गया. पता नहीं क्या किस्मत है. जहाँ कुछ कोशिश करते हैं वहाँ जो है ना वो अटैक हो जाता है. But anyways, Ali, how are you keeping busy in COVID time? क्या हो रहा है?
So when COVID hit, I was in Germany. I had a show there, and then I was staying there, meeting a few friends, and it was then I went to Belgium, and then it was just travel ban, ये वो. फिर I thought I should come back. मेरे shows थे 3 अमेरिका में, but I had to cancel. They got cancelled, and I had to come back. So start जब हुआ ये सब तो it was pretty tough. Initially, I felt like okay, uncertainty जो थी वो that was giving me anxiety कि ये कब खत्म होगा, क्योंकि initially जब ये start हुआ तो everybody was like, is this the new normal? Is this how we will be? And which I think to a certain extent is not true maybe. But it was something new. We didn't know how to react. But now as time has passed, I feel at ease. मैंने अपनी routine बना दी है. Meditation and cycling is something that I do daily now. Cycling मैं 2 साल से कर रहा था, but it would be 4 days a week, but now it's every day. So I just try to keep busy. And plus I live alone. So that's something that is much more challenging with some people.
Right.
But
Acha,
yeah.
Ali, I mean, of course, we are at a time where, being part of the industry generally, what we say, which is media industry, सबका काम रुक चुका है, किसी को समझ में नहीं आ रहा कैसे
बिल्कुल.
करना है. आप तो उससे भी और ही खतरनाक किस्म की इंडस्ट्री के साथ वास्ता रखते हैं जो म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री है. And I've spoken to lots of people who've been associated with it. And yesterday I was speaking to Jami, and he said that, yeah, because he's been pioneer of the industry, and he said the music industry is dead in Pakistan. There is
Hmm.
no music industry.
Hmm.
Do you agree with that logic?
I think he's right. There's no music industry, but there is music, which is the sad part. I मुझे लगता है कि um, there are musicians and they're scattered all over. आप internet पे जाएंगे तो you'll find a lot of music. There's a lot of original music also coming out. That's why ये सारे music अगर musicians नहीं हैं तो कोक स्टूडियो कैसे चला? ये सारे नेस्कैफे बेसमेंट नए पुराने इतने सारे musicians हैं. That means there is um, कश्मीर और ये सारे जो बदनाम ये सारे जो नए बैंड्स हैं ये कहाँ से आए ये पाकिस्तान से ही आए सो देयर आर म्यूजिशियंस इट्स जस्ट दैट इंडस्ट्री नहीं है हमने अभी तक जैसे इंटरनेशनली पीपल हैव इवॉल्व्ड क्योंकि music went from a physical form to an intangible form right to an mp3 file
Yes.
and it was tricky for record labels to profit from that फिर वो iTunes आया Spotify आया और बहुत सारे platforms आए जहाँ से म्यूजिशियन थोड़ा बहुत कमाने लगे सीडी जितना नहीं था पर उन्होंने थोड़ा कॉम्पनसेट कर लिया लाइव परफॉर्मेंसेस एंडोर्समेंट्स रिकॉर्ड लेबल्स होते हैं यहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड लेबल है नहीं जो है ईएमआई वो पुराने म्यूजिक से ही कमा रहे हैं रॉयल्टी ये वो बट they're not predominantly making new music so जब तक आप एक इंडस्ट्री उस वक्त बनती है जब लोग कमाते हैं इंडस्ट्री ऐसे नहीं बन सकती कि बस अगर आपके पास लाख म्यूजिशियन है वो इंडस्ट्री बन गई नहीं वो हर कोई अपने हिसाब से जहां उसको कमाने का टाइम मिल रहा है वो कर रहा है इट्स डिफरेंट फॉर मी बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो प्रोड्यूस ब्रांडेड कंटेंट आई एम what they call a influencer also so I have multiple ways of earning जो लोग मेरे दोस्त हैं जो सिर्फ म्यूजिक करते
Right.
हैं सेशन प्लेयर्स हैं जो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट बैंड्स के साथ कॉन्सर्ट्स में बजाते हैं उनके लिए तो इट्स रियली टफ बिकॉज उनका अपना म्यूजिक इतना कोई वायबल नहीं है जो वो उनका म्यूजिक उनकी रोजी लगी हुई थी दूसरों के साथ 3-4 बैंड वो वहाँ पे शो करेंगे 10 वहाँ पे 20 शो करेंगे सो उनके लिए it's really difficult and those are in my view the true musicians
Okay.
musician वो है जो बनाए लाइव परफॉर्म करे और एंटरटेन करे आई थिंक दैट्स द प्राइम जैसे एक एक्टर के लिए कि थिएटर इज लाइक द मोस्ट रिस्पेक्टेड एंड वैल्यूड prestigious art form because
Right.
there's no retake there's this
Right.
big play here and you have to ace it there's no other take so वैसे ही for I think musician and that's the sad part कि हमारे musician जो ऑलरेडी आपको पता है सारंगी हमारे रीजन से आया है पाकिस्तान में टोटल अभी करंटली कितने सारंगी प्लेयर्स होंगे
Mm.
मैक्सिमम 2 या 3 है दैट्स सैड
Right.
so yeah
But anyways, let's go. I mean, if you go,
no
you've got
sorry
Paderi ka beta,
I
you've
went
got
on to
Sai.
a rant
No. I didn't mean to cut you out. I thought you were done. I'm saying you've
no
got
I'm
Paderi
done
ka
yeah
beta, you've got Sai to Sai, you've got Tadu Maru, you've got VIP, you've Kholo with Adil Umar, Justice, Kaisa Diya, I mean, Chutti Time, etc. etc. तो I mean ये सारे गाने भी तो बने हैं ना तो ये भी socially relevant है तो with your tracks and with your composition and being part of the music culture what do you try to achieve as an artist?
I try to I mean the first song I did बडेरे का बेटा that was mainly के I wanted to make people laugh मेन उसके पीछे मोटिवेशन ये थी कि ये कैरेक्टर है मैंने सोसाइटी में देखा है अगर ये कैरेक्टर गाना बनाए तो कैसा गाना हो and it was purely that and when I wrote it it was funny and I thought this would be different क्योंकि हमारे पास फनी सॉन्ग्स का रेफरेंस पटेल स्कोप याद है do you remember पटेल स्कोप there was guy who made parody songs
Yeah.
or something I mean बहुत बहुत जैसे अब एक अमेरिका में द लोनली आइलैंड जिसमें एडम सैमबर्ग है और दे आल्सो मेक फनी songs there's a song called Dick in a Box I don't know if you've heard if you haven't you should Google it
I haven't.
yeah so but I we didn't have any like so funny songs. It's always about some random funny thing, you know. कोई funny गाना होगा तो कोई ऐसी तफरी मजाहिया lyrics type होंगे. But so it went from that, and then eventually I understood कि जो मैं बना रहा हूँ उसका एक larger impact भी है. It's not just funny. It's also because it's satirizing the society. It's also creating a discussion, and I like that. फिर मैं सोचा नहीं ये that's good. I didn't think of this aspect क्योंकि कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि आप um, कुछ क्रिएट करते हो और एंड आपका पर्सपेक्टिव होता है ये और फिर वो जब बहुत हिट हो जाती चीज तो लोग अपना अपना मकसद उस चीज में ढूंढने शुरू हो जाते हैं एंड देन उस आर्ट का मीनिंग changes according to the people and some people give it a new perspective and the artist learns from it or like हाँ मैंने तो ये सोचा भी नहीं था you know and then I thought okay this is something that clearly society loves because they relate to it मेन चीज कोर हर गाने में क्या है रिलेटेबिलिटी अगर एक बंदी है जो जिसने ताड़ू जब भी वो मार्केट जाती है वो देखती है ताड़ू है या एक बंदा है जिसने कभी कोई पॉलिटिशियन के पास अपनी फाइल लेके गया है और पॉलिटिशियन ने उसको फेंक दिया है तो वो उसने वीआईपी देखा है उसने वडेरा देखा है या पीपल कैंट एक्सेस यूट्यूब और एक इंडस्ट्री को आपने रोक दिया 3-4 साल बिकॉज ऑफ वन वीडियो तो वो they relate to it so it's about talking about what the people feel and I feel like that is my two messages are like two core goals are to entertain and to educate uh, so I'm making these songs not for you mainly I'm making this for Sakhar mein taxi driver because we need to talk to him the masses हम लोगों के लिए यूट्यूब है हम लोग ट्रैवल करते हैं हम लोग ने दुनिया देखी है हम पढ़े लिखे हैं हमें पता है ताड़ना गलत है हमें पता है करप्शन गलत है हम करते हैं फिर भी वो अलग बात है बट what if we can change one guy listens in a gaon and maybe he thinks that this is you know like one of the best ways I saw something impacted by my song is when I used to do a lot of corporate shows. I don't do them now because you know they're soul sucking. But there was a time like 4 years, good 4-5 years of my life. I've done like a lot of shows. Like every month I would do 3-4 shows. Um, and so every weekend I'd be busy doing shows and usme I would always talk about the song before performance so I'd be like हाँ ताड़ू होते हैं halls में खड़े होते हैं घूर रहे होते हैं और वाह भाई बहुत अच्छी लड़की है you know like whatever ठरकीपन कर रहे होते हैं and everybody would laugh and एक बार मैंने बस कह दिया कि आपके ऑफिस में कोई ताड़ू है तो हंसने शुरू हो गए और लड़कियों के पास गया तो हमेशा इन कॉर्पोरेट डिनर्स में आप देखेंगे औरतें हैं ना साइड में अगर औरतें बहुत कम है ना पूरे ऑफिस में तो वो एक साइड की एक टेबल में जमा होंगी पीछे होंगी या कहीं आगे होंगी पर कोने में कहीं सो उधर मैं चल जाता था एंड वो हंसती थी और वो एक कहती थी बताओ ना शगुफ्ता एंड यू नो सो लाइक एक उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया था हर किसी के ऑफिस उसके बाद मैं हर शो में किया एंड जितने भी 150 शोज किए हैं every show every woman laughed because they had experienced this in their own office उसी इवेंट में शायद कुछ लोग बैठे होंगे जो ये करते होंगे and so for them that shame that's like for them it's you know that's the least they can get right if their workplace is not safe at least they can hear a joke on his expense and be like see साले को अब पता चला सबके सामने जलील हुआ you know so yeah
So fair enough. So I guess it's socially relevant. You hit the right messages because obviously वो virality बढ़ जाती है in your tracks and I think you know what you're doing. But I mean, I mean, when you're making these tracks, when you're producing them, are you thinking of any financial viability from them? Do you get anything from them, or are you just making it for the heck of it?
No, I don't really monitor. Like YouTube pays, but that's negligible. I mean, जितनी मेरी cost बनती है to make these songs, um, this I don't get the return financially directly. Um, what happens is that this is for me investment. So in terms of business, it's investment. So I work on something that's close to my soul, and then it gets some virality sometimes. Not every innovative thing works. A lot of my songs that, like you mentioned, Chutti Time or Justice was something I see. But yeah, Chutti Time is one of such example, which the song didn't really do that good. Even though I thought people who do 9 to 5 jobs might relate to it, but I guess it didn't. So you just do your bit. You keep at it, and some things work, some things don't.
Okay, so obviously uske baad once something hit mainstream, you obviously definitely must have got offers, you definitely became a brand, you definitely started getting contacts from people, which led you to become, brand associated, leading to television networks, leading to probably commercials and all that. अब जब आप लोगों के साथ interact करते हैं industry के अंदर, do you sense professionalism in the industry when it comes to dealing with people, or is it all over the place?
I think it's different for different industries. Like for example, internet is the most disciplined in my way because it's my team. Like I'll hire the people. I know most of them people I know for like more than a decade. Um, so it's much more easier for me to more I have more control over it, so it's much more comfortable. But when I go out and I do TV, um, TV is I used to get pissed off at the lack of professionalism. I used to because the because 90% of the projects you do, um, you are there for waiting 15-20 hours. Like I don't mind waiting between shots, everybody has to do that, but like clearly, like if somebody's coming at 8 a.m. and their first shot is at 6 p.m. or 2 p.m., 3 p.m., then and you're making a sitcom, let's say 4 or 5 actors, then that's just fucked up, like it's just bad scheduling. It just if you have 5 actors, you should not be making someone wait. Or the money bit in TV is also another thing. I thankfully I haven't faced it as much. Um, but yeah, I mean, you have to some people you have to chase for money, and so it's that's the only like. And then when I was coming before Vadere Ka Beta, I remember doing um, this sitcom that I got fired from the second day of shoot. But the first day I did, um, there was a girl. I had a scene with this girl. She was junior artist. She was only here for one scene. I was sitting with her, and the girl goes like, um, the AD goes like कि अच्छा तो क्या सीन है उस सुना है उस सेट पे तुमने कैमरा मैन को मजे कराए थे तो मुझे भी तो करा दो. And this is happening while I'm reading the script in Park Towers. This is food court, and the AD is talking to this girl opposite me, and he's
What?
soliciting.
Go
Uh,
on, yeah. Go on.
yeah, and then she goes like in front of me. She goes like, "ये कौन है?" And he goes like, "हाँ, इनको नहीं जानती है वो." Well, nobody knew me that, so I wouldn't be surprised. But he was like, he's one of the main actors, one of the two main leads. And she goes like, "Oh," and then she started flirting with me, and she was like, "Can you drop me?"
Now, when you move on to the television commercial industry, I do see you coming across with brands and everything, and and you are a brand yourself. When you move on to that, that's fair. Is that being managed very professionally? I mean, do you see any glitches and gaps there? or is it a very, very, fast forwarded and very, very streamlined process for you?
I mean, glitches and gaps are everywhere, but I think out of all the industries that I work in, uh, the corporate one is the most professional one for sure, 100%. Ek to, because I mean, obviously there are maslas and there's exploitation and of the artist and then a lot of things uh, but but my experience has been that you do a project, you have to you have to listen to a lot of feedback, and you have to fight, and you always have to struggle because you're the creative. I want to make this song, even if it's branded fun. That person wants to sell his product or her product. So we're always tugging, and I'm trying to make it entertaining, and that person. But that's good. That's a good partnership, because both are important. It should be entertaining. It should be stuck in your head, but it should also give you that message that they want to give. So I like it. I enjoy it. It's more challenging, and I again have more creative control with all these. Um, Most of my commercials or digital brand partnerships have been mostly my creative aspect in it somehow or the other. Even when I'm acting in something, I'm involved in the script because I understand that I can bring something to it. So that's always my clause most of the time.
Great.
So
And
yeah.
and great. And when it comes to stand-up, being a stand-up comedian, and I'm not very well aware of how much is growing in Pakistan. एक ज़माने में होता था Blackfish का भी concept शुरू हुआ था where you got people there, you fly down people there as well. You are also doing
Yeah.
shows. Do you get that validation by
Are you
performing here?
fasting? Can I eat a brownie while we
You
talk
can
or
eat
no?
as much as you want. It doesn't matter. It's fine. You can eat.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Okay.
on that note, do you think that we have a very valid stand up comedy industry in Pakistan, or even if we do, or even if we don't have, you have been obviously been flown to international avenues as well. Do you find a stark difference in recognition?
Um, Stand-up comedy came from America. It came from when these pubs and these bars they they needed an opening act, someone to kill time while the artist sets up musician, jazz musician वगैरह. तो किसी फनी आदमी को माइक दे देते थे कि भाई तुम बातें करो and while he sets up. तो वो वहाँ पे है ना वो people would be drinking and he would start making fun of people. There's a warm up the crowd and then the musician comes and he performs. This bar culture is very important to stand-up culture because that's where it was born. These are places that are open daily. They can't hire a different musician every night, so they need someone to come and entertain people. One man, mic do, सस्ता परफॉर्मेंस हमारा यहाँ अब ये इंडिया में ट्रांसलेट हो गया क्योंकि वहाँ पे दारू बिकती है, बार्स हैं, सबका ये कल्चर सिमिलर है. वहाँ पे it was easy to implement the same you know method, but in Pakistan the thing is that हमारे name one venue in Karachi where you go and you're eating but you also want to see a live performance every day, like regular. No, right? There's
Zero.
not even a single. And Karachi is the biggest city of Pakistan, metropolitan. So there goes your. We have concerts which are separate, and then we have the cafe. अब बात ये कि अब stand-up comedy and any kind of comedy requires attention. So it can't even be like khana. It has to be like it's easy to drink something and watch something and give it attention. But if you're like tuck tuck tuck, chicken का पीस काट रहे हो, आवाज भी हो रही है, वो सामने कॉमेडी कर रहा है, ऐसी 100 लोग हैं, 100 लोग खा रहे हैं. एक आर्टिस्ट के लिए सबसे
So, सबसे
इंसल्टिंग बात है
exactly, yeah.
कि वो परफॉर्म कर रहा है और आप खाना खा रहे हैं. सो क्या कुछ वो कल्चर ही नहीं है. अब वो बैठेंगे 1.5 घंटा एक कैफे में, कितनी कॉकटेल्स वो लाना, शेक्स पिएंगे. सो वो कल्चर ही नहीं है. Even though that culture is not there, the bar culture, whatever. When I started improv comedy, I was recently going through Light On है, हमने एक show किया था, उसकी clips, and it was improv comedy on TV in Urdu, like Whose Line Is It Anyway. उस वक्त हम एक ग्रुप थे और सुना था कि लम्स में शायद एक ग्रुप है जो हम बहुत primitive, अभी स्टार्ट हुआ था, like when we had already been performing for 4 years. And अब आप कराची में, I personally know at least 50-60 stand-up comedians and at least 4 or 5 improv comedy groups. Now these हो सकते हैं बहुत सारे हैं जो मैं नहीं जानता हूँगा, but that is a crazy growth in the last 10 or so years. So it is going up. But the thing is, again, आप पैसा कैसे कमाएंगे? स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी आप चलें, कोई शो, कोई दिन कैफे आपको बुला लेता है, कुछ पैसे आ जाते हैं, बट वो रनिंग नहीं है ना. वहाँ पे दुबई, इंडिया, इन जगहों पे ये है कि वो कैफेज बने हुए हैं. एक कैफे पे मंडे को वो जाता है, फिर ट्यूसडे को उधर चल जाता है, सर, लाइक हफ्ते के 4 दिन कॉमेडियन वो कहीं ना कहीं परफॉर्म कर रहा है. वो भले 30-50 हजार भी कमा रहा है एक शो से, वो मिला के अच्छा उसको मिल जाता है, सो वो नहीं है, वेन्यूज नहीं है आपके पास, कॉमेडी क्लब नहीं है, एक भी नहीं है. इवन तो कितने कॉमेडियंस गए हैं, हमारा ह्यूमर कितना, nobody has invested anything in comedy,
You think we should bring in the back old good old days, when Umar Sharif used to have the stage shows and everything, and get bunch of comedians on stage? Would that work?
No, I wouldn't work because first of all, that comedy was funny, but it wasn't quality comedy. I call it chamaat wali comedy. It was एक बोना आएगा, उसको 10 चमाटे पड़ेंगी, वो चले जाएगा. So you're basically making fun of someone who's disabled. You're just physical, like just it's degrading someone. Um, Pathan jokes, Bengali jokes. That shit is just, we have to move beyond it. दुनिया कहाँ से कहाँ चलेगी? हमने अभी तक वो 92 वाले जोक्स किए हैं कि सिंधी लेजी होता है, पंजाबी कनिंग होता है, पठान ये होता है, अखरोट होता है. Just कॉमेडी को करने के लिए यूज कर लिया है. जिसने भी ये यूज किया था, या जो भी एक कॉन्शियसली चीज बनी थी या सबकॉन्शियसली ये हेट फैलाई गई थी, बट it was used to divide people. So I'm totally against that comment. Umar Sharif never did that. But some did. जिनको आप अभी हीरो बोलते हैं, अभी they used to do that. And कोई आप उनको बोलें तो फिर लोग तब जाते हैं और फिर कहते हैं हमारे लेजेंड. भाई लेजेंड है कोई, नाउजुबिल्लाह, प्रॉफिट तो नहीं है, इंसान है ना. कुछ उसने गलत तो किया होगा. Let's just teach him. Let's just talk to him. So yeah.
बहुत बड़ा फिनोमेना पाकिस्तान में चल रहा है टर्किश कंटेंट का. Do you agree with this whole logic coming here? Do you support it? Do you think we should welcome foreign content, or do you think we should keep a balance of content when it comes to getting something from abroad?
I think there's already some restriction, like, isn't there? That there's a limit to foreign dramas that you can import or play.
I don't think so, because अगर वो खोल दिया जाए तो हमने तो एक नेटवर्क भी खड़ा किया था जो सिर्फ फॉरेन कंटेंट चलाता था, तो उसपे काफी
Okay.
प्रोड्यूसर्स ने शोर मचाया था. अभी स्टेट रन चैनल चला रहा है उसपे, तो उसपे सिर्फ मेरा जो अपना पर्सनल इख्तिलाफ है वो ये है कि भाई टैक्सेस हमारे जाते हैं, लेकिन आप कंटेंट लेके आते हो तो थोड़ा सा मेरा कंटेंट से इख्तिलाफ नहीं है. मैं बोलता हूँ कि यार हमारी इंडस्ट्री में आप थोड़ा सा इन्वेस्ट करो, बिकॉज आवर पीपल
Hmm.
आल्सो नीड थोड़ा. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द
Yeah.
पार्ट that do you agree with this? I mean, there's a hot debate going on right now. I don't think anyone knows about it. What are your thoughts on it?
I think you're right. I think there should be, like, we should get bahar ka content if some show is going well, and so we should be able to watch it. That is not the problem. Like Netflix versus ARY नहीं है. ARY अलग एक मुझे यहाँ मुझे अलग एक एक्सपीरियंस देता है. Netflix मुझे अलग देता है. Prime मुझे अलग देता है. Hulu मुझे अलग चीजें देता है. So there's no like this or that. It can be everything. That is the beauty of globalization. But you can't be like, I mean, ठीक है, right now I don't know what he's thinking when he's urging the country to watch it. Maybe it moved him and the PM wants everyone to watch that show. That's fine. But you need to invest in our local industry. तो PTV जो आपके पास स्टेट चैनल है, आप उसको टर्की से लोग बुलाएं. नेक्स्ट स्टेप शुड बी दिस. अगर ये आपने कर लिया ना, ठीक है, आपने कर लिया. नेक्स्ट स्टेप है वो टर्की से आप लोग बुलाएं डायरेक्टर. आप उनको अपनी कोई इस्लामिक प्रोग्राम जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं, प्रोग्रामिंग यहाँ पे बने, ट्रेनिंग करें, वर्कशॉप्स दें, वहां से सीखें. आप अपनी गेम को थोड़ी अप करें उनके साथ. मैंने जब भी कोलैबोरेट किया मैं सीखा हूँ, मैं इवॉल्व हुआ हूँ. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स हाउ art evolves, when you meet with the world and you work with them and you get to learn a lot. So I think that needs to be there. He needs to go sign some exchange programs or something, and we need to up our game. He needs to have that long vision. ठीक है, अभी हम नहीं कर सकते compete. हमारे पास वो capability सही है, दिखा दें limit में, but need to also invest in our field ताकि हम it can't be biased कि नहीं वो ये सही है because वो टर्की से आया है, मगर हम अगर कर रहे हैं तो कंजर खाना है. It can't be that. It has to be, if that is art, then this is our ये भी art है. So you have to be
careful with both of them.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Ali, and on that note, I'm literally, I think, 8 minutes away from your on your outing.
No, it's not a strict thing. I postponed my thing 10
So,
minutes, 15 minutes. So
yeah,
yeah, if
so
you have
I just, so anyways, the thing is that I have industry professionals watching. I have directors watching. I have filmmakers watching. अच्छा, one small thing. Film industry कैसे जा रही है? सही रास्ते में?
I don't have much comment there because I don't have much of an experience there.
You
जो
watch
मेरा थोड़ा
Pakistani
सा
films?
I do watch them. Yeah, I do watch. I watched like 7, 8 out of in the past 1.5 year or something. But I don't have much experience. मैंने एक छोटा सा special appearance की थी किसी फिल्म में. I did see that there was more rehearsal, there was more effort in actually directing, and the acting director relationship आपको वो फिल्म में ही दिखती है. I feel like TV is just such a factory कि आपको everything is just like चलो इतने दिन के इतने सीन निकालने. So वो फिल्म में obviously schedule तो होता है, but it's like आपने साल लगाए हैं यहाँ तक पहुँचते शूट पे आने के लिए. So there's a lot of pre-work done already before you get on the set, which isn't done on TV. So that does improve the quality. Again, I feel like technically हमने वार देखी है, हमने बहुत सारी फिल्में देखी हैं. Technically लाल कबूतर हम technically on point हैं. We can shoot, we know how to edit. Obviously we need to, there are things we can do better and learn. That's always there, but I don't see that as a problem. Again, it's scripts and better films. Yeah, that way.
बेहतरीन. ठीक है Ali, thank you. And any parting note for anyone watching? Any sort of thoughts if you'd like to give? Current state of affairs.
Yeah, I just think that like कभी आप है ना insecure किसी और के काम से नहीं हो. If अगर आपकी दुकान इतनी नहीं चल रही तो आप किसी और की दुकान बंद करके कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. ये हमारी बहुत, मैंने हर जगह ये मेंटालिटी देखी है. Crabs in a bucket, you don't need a lid, they just pull each other down. And that's how sometimes we think. Sometimes we go like, अच्छा अगर मैं अच्छा नहीं कर रहा तो वो भी अच्छा नहीं कर सकता. Um, I think we would all benefit a lot if we just focus on work, focus on creating, rather than publicizing and you know, and there needs to be more accountability for people who, like ठीक है जैसे I thought was, like how Adnan Siddiqui abhi recently, like आमिर लियाकत ने कोई बात बोली थी कि आप जिसके साथ काम करते हैं आप मर जाते हैं वो लोग. And then few days later Adnan Siddiqui was like सरफराज से कि and that that is like perfect example of call out culture 360. एक बंदा जिसके साथ थोड़ा ये वो हुआ उसकी रैंट हुई, उसका साइड सबने लिया, उसने ही कोई 5-6 दिन बाद कुछ बोल दिया और वो फिर अब butt of every joke and hate बन गया.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the society is already like that. My point is just focus on your work, focus on um being smart, being focused, being on your work rather than कि मैं हम उसको नीचे गिरा दें या इसको, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are we expecting from you from your forthcoming works?
I am writing 2 songs. One is a collaboration with an artist who's new. I can't say who, but I'm really
Okay.
excited. And then there's another song which is my own thing, which will be released later. But hopefully, we're hoping end of June we release a song. So working on that. That is the main thing.
Fair enough. ठीक है. Ali, thank you so much for being part of this. I'm glad you gave it time. I look forward to different sort of conversations from everyone. You have been part of the industry. You are going to be part of the industry. We have worked together, and I do hope to work with you again in future. Keep
Of
safe.
course, of course.
Keep safe.
You too.
Enjoy this time off in quarantine. This is a blessing in disguise. We'll probably understand something from it once we get out of it. So
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure, and looking forward to some great feedback coming from it. Thank you so much, and take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Rafay.